P-C-E-T Imhotep, Salafalaful, Jumbo, Habargani, Assalamu alaikum and shalom. This is Kemetic Minds back for another video. And in this video, we're just going to be covering the life path number 11, or the numerology of 11. But to follow along with me on this video, what I need you to do is just come to this page and it'll show you how to calculate your life path number. So you write down your birth date in numerical form. If you're born in June the 15th, 1995, you would write it as 6/15/1995. Step 2 would add each of these numbers in your birthday together. And that would be, you would break it up. So 6 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 5. That'll give you a number. And then you would add these two numbers together. So 3 plus 6 would then give you 9. So you'd be like a life path 9. Right? So this would be different if you were a master number, which is basically a double digit number. It could be 11 through 99. And a double digit number is not necessarily better than, say, a single digit number like a life path 1, 2, or 3. It just comes with higher expectations and just more pressure. But it could be potentially more potential, but it's not a guarantee of anything. It's not an ego trip thing. You shouldn't have an ego. So now we're going to go over the life path number 11, or the numerology of number 11. And this is considered, well, let's go over this information first. I'm going to be going over a few different things, but 11 is a master number in numerology, and those with the life path number of 11 possess unique spiritual gifts and abilities. 11 is associated with spiritual awakening, intuition, and visionary thinking. In numerology, master numbers are considered to have a more profound spiritual significance and are more potent than regular numbers. The master numbers are 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. While average numbers are reduced to a single digit, master numbers are not. For example, 11 is considered a master number and is not reduced to a single digit of 2 when we're calculating the life path number. Now, if you're looking at news, you can break 22, you can break down 11 into 2, and you can add 1 plus 1, or if you're trying to figure out if you find a good potential partner match. But in general, we don't reduce down with the master number 11. So these master numbers are believed to possess unique energies and vibrations not found in other numbers. Now, let me go ahead and highlight this so I know where to come back. Now, scripture, if we're going to go to scripture, we do see these numbers pop up from time to time. You have these spiritual messages from your spiritual guides. Some call them angels. I call it, to me, it's your higher self. Right, it's your higher self, that inner, the intuition, picking up that number at that time, trying to send you a message. All right. So if we're going to look at the scripture here at BibleReference.com, here it says, after saying these things, he said to them, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I go to awaken him. Okay, so an awakening, right? To awaken, to pay attention. Okay, so it's symbolizing, though, someone falling asleep, but I go to awaken him. In the scripture, Lazarus has fallen asleep. Okay, so once again, these people receive signs from their higher self. Okay, these messages, these internal messages, and relay them to others. And according to the explanation of the scripture further, it says Jesus responded to an urgent message about Lazarus, sick in Bethany, by sending a comforting reply and waiting in Bethabara for 2 days. So once again, these life path 11s can be spiritual messengers. Their voice, their words can heal people through different spiritual modalities, or through art, painting, communication, creative endeavors, just giving a speech. These people can heal large groups of people worldwide. Another scripture that's interesting, when you type in the word 11 in Pythagorean numerology, and this is Autopata 3.0, this is my free web app, and you get the number 27, and 27 sums to, when you type in the word 11, it comes to 27, 7 plus 2, or if we reference that to if we reference that to Exodus 2:7, we'll come to this scripture. And of course, 2 plus 7 equals 9. 9 is more of a nurturing number. A woman is pregnant 9 months, of course. So then it says, then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and call you a nurse from the Hebrew women to nurse the child for you? All right, so Miriam, the sister of Moses, speaks to Pharaoh's daughter. It is uncertain whether or not Moses' mother sent her for this purpose, because she was a young girl and therefore more easily received. However, God used Miriam to offer a unique situation for both Pharaoh's daughter and Moses' mother. Okay, so Miriam asked if she can get a Hebrew woman to nurse the child. This practice must have been common in this time. Unlike today, when bottle feeding an infant isn't common practice, women in ancient times sometimes employed the use of their women, wet nurses, to provide milk for newborn children. Okay, so this goes to show you how times have changed. They indicate heightened spiritual abilities. Okay, so 9, of course, when we're talking about the number, back to this scripture, of course, when we're talking about the number 11, once again, 11 sums to 27. And the Exodus is the second book of the Bible. So we looked at verse 7, chapter 2, verse 7. And you see how it's synced naturally with the number 9. 9 nurturing, 2 plus 7 equals 9. 9, that nurturing number. It's not coincidence, okay? The numbers have meaning just like words. And nothing is coincidence, okay? I got people who want to say this is a, coincidence practice, but it's not. When we talk about the number 11, we're talking about the psychic master. And of course, this is indicated also with heightened spiritual abilities and a solid connection to the spirit realm. So what's within? Oneness. Make sure you read my Instagram post on oneness. Okay, that's a good reference. Just check me out on Instagram. And I'll leave links in the description. But they can also show a potential for greatness and heightened level of responsibility. So those who possess these master numbers in their numerology charts are believed to have deeper understanding and are often considered spiritual leaders. The life path 11 is highly intuitive. The life path of 11 is highly intuitive and empathetic, with a solid connection to the spiritual realm. They are also believed to be highly creative, with a deep understanding of the underlying meaning of things. So the number 11 is often a symbol of the spiritually enlightened and is associated with the spiritual path of the mystic. So those with the life path 11 are thought to have heightened sense of intuition. Okay, so N, right? I and N, there goes that number 9 again, starting with intuition. Okay, and are often drawn to explore. Now, when you think 9, of course, I think of the light bulb. That's what the I, this lowercase I, represents, is that light bulb. So that light bulb goes off within, and those thoughts flow freely to the higher state of being and consciousness. Okay, and it's a connection. These people are conduits. This is why the 9 and the 11 connects so well together, because these people are. And they feed off of each other in terms of when a 9 and 11 comes together, make almost a perfect relationship match in terms of life path 9 and life path 11. Okay. And of course you can find these matches throughout the out, but 9 and 11 have a very unique connection. It being a master number and a regular 9. So they're often drawn to explore spiritual practices such as meditation and energy healing. They also believe to have a strong sense of purpose and desire to positively impact the world, right? I'm actually at life path 11. I just happen to be at life path 11. So it kind of allows me to give this reading. I can get a lot of messages that are just going to come to me while I make this video. So regarding the letter K, 11, being the 11th letter of the alphabet, its numerology is seen as a powerful letter associated with independence, creativity, and self-expression. And of course, the letter K, as I mentioned in my Life Path 11 bonus video, K has its hands to the sky. So the letter K is a powerful force representing the will to create and desire to make things happen. Okay, so it is also associated with the leader and leadership qualities and taking charge of one's life. Okay, so people with names that begin with the letter K are often seen as independent and self-reliant, with a sense of self and a desire to accomplish it, right? They want to accomplish what they set out to do. Okay, so the etymology of the word 11 comes from the Old English indo fan, which literally means one left over. This refers to the fact that 11 is one more than 10, one the sacred room. So the word has been referred, the number 11 in English since the 9th century, of course. And so the letter K, now coming back to the letters, the letter K has a rich history dating back to the Phoenician alphabet, where it was represented by the symbol Kaf, which stood for the sound K. So the Greek and Etruscan alphabets also adopted the letter K, which has been used in various languages throughout history. In the Middle Ages, the letter K began representing the sounds K and G in Germanic languages. The letter K also has been used as a symbol of various concepts such as knowledge and power. Kaf, the 11th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, represents both divine love and human love, as it is one of the 7 double letters having 2 sounds, K or CH. It is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, and was assigned the number 20 as there is no number 11 in Hebrew. Kaf is the higher expression of Beth, indicated by its number 11 being one step higher than Beth's number 2. It symbolizes holding and taking hold of opportunities, making it a sign of an initiate who welcomes the opportunity to delve further into spiritual truths for seekers of wisdom. However, it is also has a negative side associated with being overly sensitive, dishonest, and narrow-minded. Okay, so as with any number in the zodiac, we all have to look at where we can improve, right? And this is where, having that, not having, having a balanced perspective of, your negative traits is just as important as understanding your positive traits. And these things are not to be hard on yourself or overtly hard on yourself, but to understand and to, of course, understand what the meaning those negative traits are, so you can kind of be aware of them and that they will pop up, but being aware of it and being able to say, okay, let me tone it down a little bit. Let me work on some of my weak traits, or, to be able to self-adjust and look in the mirror and figure out where you can improve. We all have areas to improve. And that's a lifelong, and each life path is a lifelong process. It's not an overnight thing. So it is essential to overcome the lower nature and reach upward for light, to be receptive to higher awareness and intuition, spiritual help, and creative ideas. So Kaf also needs music to calm itself and give inspiration. So when it allows its light to shine, it inspires others. In conclusion, actually, before I go over that, so the number 11 is associated with the ancient temples of mystery, where 2 pillars, the Jachin and Boaz, represent positive and negative, or masculine and feminine, and active, passive forces. Okay, where I kind of think of the pillars in ancient Kemet, those pillars of spirituality. It was the land of spirituality, of course. Walking between these pillars brings balance into one's life, and choosing the positive, upward way assures success. People under the number 11 are naturally artistic, spiritual, and inspired, and are meant to be professional people who uplift others through their creations and thoughts. Okay, so they are highly intuitive and inspirational. However, while they're known as the psychic masters and messengers of God, a master among men who delves into the mysteries of life. Negative 11s can become wicked leaders and lack practicality, causing trials and hardships. Okay, so they must choose between good and evil and turn toward the light of understanding to reflect the special glow and charisma of the 11. Okay, so once again, being able to self-reflect is one of the strengths of a life path 11, and really any number in numerology. And the 11 kind of reflects the number 1. So when we're looking at 1, we can look at the first chakra also. We have the Chakra Handbook again by Shangri-La, Lotus Press, and Shalila Sharaman and Bodo J. Baginski. And the root chakra connects us with the physical world. It transfers cosmic energies to the physical and earthly level and lets earthly energy stream into our subtle system. Okay, let me read that again. So the root chakra connects us with the physical world. It transfers cosmic energies to the physical and earthly level and lets earthly energy stream into our subtle system. So here we enter into contact with the spirit of Mother Earth and are able to experience her elemental force, her love, and patience. Man's basic individual and global needs for life and survival on the planet belong to the sphere of influence of the first chakra. Okay, and you can feel these energy centers circle, right? And if we look, when we're talking about circles and we're talking about sources of those circles and spirals, family, you look at the top of a melanated man's head and you see the spiral, the waves, right? Origin. Okay, that's usually when you see a spiral, you have you think about a drop of water hitting a lake and making a puddle, and you see that ripple, that wave, right? And that's living proof of the original woman of the planet. But when we go into the code of it all, we get into numbers. We're looking at the good book from the brother by African Creation Energy. We have the symbol of the quantity 9, and the modern decimal numbering system is a logarithmic growth spiral that resembles the symbol of the quantity. In the ancient African Egyptian numbering system, the numeric value of the mathematic expression, these 3 spirals, would be equivalent to 100, 100, 100. So we keep it 100. In either case, whether we are considering the numeric value of the mathematic expression, 999 equals 4.28 times 10, 369, 693, and 099, or are we considering the numeric value of the mathematic expression of these 3 spirals, 100, 100, 100. So both of these quantities would be considered infinity, right? A type of infinity, not the infinity of infinites, and would be expressed in the ancient African Egyptian numbering system as He. He and his female counterpart Hehet were African Egyptian deities that represented the concepts of infinity, eternity, and endlessness. Okay. In the African Egyptian numbering system, when the solution of the mathematic expression for either 999 or a spiral or 3 spirals, the He, that equals He. So it's written out vertically for He and Hehet. The resulting geometric figure forms the Egyptian hieroglyph for Heka or magic. So it's interesting. Almost resembling the DNA. I should check out the brother's good book. I think he has a YouTube channel as well. A little bit more about the number 1, okay, because this is a part of the vibration of 11. So as per the Bible, number 1 signifies unity and coming together of people to form a group and unify their ideologies. So 11s make good leaders. Of course, 1 is really to be, I think, the life path 1, they're great leaders. That they're focused, they're great leaders. That's what really amplifies that leadership ability. So we're, citing out of, paraphrasing out of Vicky B. Warlock's book, Numerology, and she has this to say on 1 and 0, again, coming back to the he, or the het. The number 10 stands for the divine perfection. Many think this is a lucky number for them, right? So 11s and 1s, they can tend to be very into perfection. Everything's got to be perfect. It can be a good and a bad thing as long as it's not excessive. Once again, balance. When we have these strengths, we don't want to become slaves to our super strengths, right? Everybody has a superpower, a super ability. Nobody is, I don't believe in the whole I'm better than somebody else because, I have an ability, that nobody else has. I think that everyone can harness some very powerful energies. So let's go quickly talk about melanin. It's from the good brother Layla Africa, who passed away mysteriously. Ashe to the brother Layla Africa, Ashe. Got to think about people who left behind a legacy for Black people to listen to. He talked about ways of activating the melanin within you and using the herbal remedies, as well as the good brother Dr. Sebi. Ashe. So melanin is secreted by the pineal gland. Okay, and this is what RFG Chosen One, shout out to him. He talks about a lot about the pineal gland and staying decalcifying, your pineal gland through things like, of course, alkaline water and your diet being alkaline. And there's lots of good information online about alkaline diets and the benefits of that on melanin. But to talk about, of course, when we're talking about spirals or the head, right? When we're talking about origin, you think about the melanin, the pineal gland, pine cone. So melanin is the organic dark carbon chemical pigment substance. Melanin gives Black people's iris a brown color and gives the dark color to their hair, skin, and substantia nigra of the brain. This is an area of the brain where the cerebrum connects to the pons. Melanin is secreted by the pineal gland. Okay, so the pineal gland has a pine cone shape, is reddish in color, and the stem of it is approximately a half an inch in length, and the head of it is a slightly smaller than a pea, and the total weight is about 2 grams. So the pineal gland consists of a nerve cell similar to those in the retina nerve of the eye. The retina nerve is inside the eyeball and receives light stimulation, which it transmits to the brain. The pineal gland is found inside a fluid-filled space inside the middle of the brain called the third ventricle, and it is attached inside the ventricle. Okay, the function of the body's melanin and the brain's melanin is reduced by steroids, cortical adrenals, stimulants such as synthetic speeds, cocaine, caffeine, antidepressants, or cholinergics, and unnatural light. Okay. So those are the things that reduce melanin to unnatural light. Okay. In other words, a Black person's level of thinking or mental growth needed to solve their race's problems cannot be achieved in a low amount of melanin caused by an understimulated pineal gland. Okay, so it's very important to study these things, and it's a short book. It's a short read, and I just wanted to read that because he he had a lot of good information. It's only like 63 pages. Origins, very important. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you check out some of the free tools at Kemetic Mind's webpage. I'm still working. It's just, all this is a work in progress, and I just hope people enjoy some of the free information. Make sure you check out the links. If you can, show support. Take care of yourself and family first. I do appreciate the support to be able to make more content. That's it for this video. We'll close with some music by a young brother who is out here trying to make things happen. So, going through the grind like everybody else. So I appreciate all of you for checking out the Kemetic Minds channel. I'm going to be working hard on the reparations article. I really want to make this a jam-packed video. It might be 10 parts to this video. So I need the time to work on it, and I have other obligations, so stay tuned.
Rubber bands, we can't get along, and I overstay. I do. Skinny steady popping like the for the dollars. I'm too focused on the commas, and you always with the drama. Always got a problem, but it's never an issue. Way too blessed and stressed, using money like tissue. Tears of joy, every night a celebration. Hey, go deck for my dedication. I just might obliterate 2021. 2020 pandemic still going dumb. My heart been through so much. That bit almost numb, still I snap on every song, so I don't snap on anyone. Go so hard I break a thumb, broke a leg in the ass. Got my foot on the gas, right hand on that. I'm the man, all in high demand. I do what they can, you do what you can. I got hella plans, breaking rubber bands. We can't get along, y'all.